Here's the pitch to Rip. Fly ball, well hit to left center field. It could be. It might be. Henderson's back. He leaps, and it's gone. Home run. Grand slam for Rip.
There's a long high drive to deep right center field. Moreno back, way back. It's a grand slam homer. They'll all score. 8-2 Baltimore. Here's the pitch. A high fly ball to left center field. It could be, and kiss it goodbye. It's a grand slam home run for Ken Singleton. He'll touch a ball on that one. There's a long drive to right field, and baby, he's gone! A grand slam homer! Can you believe it? A granny for Lawrence Stein, and they have done it again.
So there's a long drive to right field. Way back! Way back! It's a grand slam homer! The Orioles lead it 9-7. $36,000 people are jumping up and down and saying, "We believe! We believe!"
Baltimore Oriole baseball, 1983. It was quite a year. And as you might expect, it was a year in which the Orioles did quite a bit of celebrating. For example, they celebrated a divisional title in Milwaukee on September the 25th.
Gantner hits a fly ball, shallow left field. Here comes Renicky. He's there. He makes the catch, and the Orioles have defeated the Brewers. And for 1983, the Baltimore Orioles are the champions of the American League's Eastern Division.
Then, on October the 8th, they celebrated an American League title in Chicago.
Tippy looks into Dempsey to get the side. He looks to the runner at first. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss, and Dempsey's knocked down. He comes up with it, throws the ball to first, and Paciorek strikes out. The Orioles are headed to the World Series. The Orioles are the American League champions in 1983.
And finally, on October the 16th in Philadelphia, the biggest celebration of them all, as they celebrated the title Champions of the World.
The cheering you hear is from Oriole fans. Everybody else is in muted silence. The pitch, line drive, Ripken catches it at shortstop, and the Orioles are the champions of the world. Dempsey is out to hug McGregor, and now the rest of his team mobs out there near the mound, and the Orioles have defeated the Phillies 4 straight times and have won this World Series.
While all of that celebrating finally came to an end in October, it actually started way back on April the 19th, and the Orioles celebrated Christmas. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Now you can look up in the snow as the lights reflect off the snow, and you can see it swirling all around inside the stadium here. Bullpen activity for the Rangers. Dancer, the left-hander. Prancer, the right-hander, throwing. There's a long high drive to deep right center field. Way back is O'Brien. Gone, home run. Merry Christmas, John Lowenstein. 3-2 Baltimore. John Lowenstein, welcomed by his cold teammates in the dugout. A warm reception, however, as Lowenstein sent a rocket soaring through the winter's eve, and when it landed, the Orioles have the lead. It's been 30 years since the St. Louis Browns became the Baltimore Orioles. In that time, there have been many victories, many thrills, and many fond memories, but perhaps never more so than in 1983. Oriole magic, you could feel it everywhere, on the field and in the stands. The O's were winning their 6th American League pennant and 3rd World Championship, but in the stands, more than 2 million fans paid their way into the stadium to cheer them on, an all-time Orioles record. But after all, there was a lot to cheer about. For instance, the night of August the 5th at the stadium. It was Brooks Robinson Hall of Fame night. Brooks just a few days before having taken his rightful place at the shrine in Cooperstown. But the celebration appeared headed for a sour conclusion. The Orioles trailed the White Sox 4-2, 2 out of the ninth, nobody on. And then something magic happened.
There's a swing and a base hit up the middle. And so the Orioles still breathing just barely, but now with a chance to give it their best shot. Eddie Murray coming up. There's a swing, line drive, base hit into center field. Fielded on one hop by Rudy Law. Ripken goes to second and holds as Law throws into the shortstop Fletcher. 2 on and 2 out. And here is Lowenstein. Line drive, base hit, center field. Ripken rounds third. He'll come on to score. Murray around second, and he is into third. It is 4-3. And here comes Ken Singleton. There's a line drive, base hit, left field. Murray scores the tying run. Lowenstein stops at second. It's 4-4. Again, a pitch that appeared to be low and out of the strike zone goes for a base hit as Singleton hits it beyond the reach of shortstop Scott Fletcher and through the hole to tie the score. And the Orioles have gotten 4 hits after 2 are outs and after 1 a.m. Now, with Lowenstein at second representing the winning run, John Shelby, the speedster, goes in to replace him. And here comes La Russa with the right-hand batting Dower coming up. La Russa, with Tidrow ready, may make a change. And there's the call. Tidrow at the belt, delivers. Swing, line drive down the right field line. If it's fair, it's over. Fair ball! Shelby scores! The Orioles have come all the way back, and they have won it! Listen to this! A late evening, middle of the night miracle. And the Orioles have pulled it off. As unlikely as it seemed just a few minutes ago, they get 5 consecutive hits. And finally it is over. It is an Oriole victory. After a night when Baltimore could get base runner after base runner, but not a clutch base hit. Then in the 9th inning, when they were down to 2 strikes and 2 outs with nobody on base, they get 5 clutch hits in a row. Remarkable. And the fans here who came out to salute one of the greats, a man who often was able to perform the unlikely, the unbelievable, well, now they go home having seen the contemporary Orioles perform the remarkable and the unbelievable.
As amazing a comeback as it was all but forgotten 19 days later. The Toronto Blue Jays were at the stadium, and the Orioles gave their fans a big emotional lift and convinced them that anything and maybe everything was possible. The 9th and 10th innings of the game against the Blue Jays were 2 of the most exciting and unusual the Orioles have ever played in their 30 years here. 2 down, 2 on in the 9th inning, the Orioles trailing 3-1 when it all began.
Benny Ayala will now come in and pinch hit. Should the Orioles tie this one, it'll be interesting to see who would come in and be the catcher and who would play second base. Benny Ayala against Geisel.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Swing and a chopper over the mound and up the middle, base hit. Coming in to score is Shelby. To second is Sakata. It is 3-2. Benny Ayala with a pinch hit single. His 13th run batted into the year. And now a base hit could tie the game. And Al Bumbry coming up. Bumbry has driven in the other Oriole run. That with a sacrifice fly back in the 3rd. Geisel is making his 37th appearance. He is 0-1 with 3 saves and a 4.33 ERA. He has pitched 43 2/3 innings in 36 appearances. The pitch. Ground ball, left to third, off the glove, aboard, base hit, left field. Sakata scores. It's tied up. Ayala goes to third, and Bunbury has tied the score. Manager Joe Altobelli had been forced to make an intricate series of maneuvers in that inning, and when the Orioles took the field for the 10th, they were a rather motley-looking crew. For instance, John Lowenstein was at second base for the first time since 1975. Gary Renicky, he was at third base for the first time in his entire career. And Len Sakata, he was catching. That was the first time for him since Little League. Cliff Johnson led off the inning with a home run for the Blue Jays. The next man walked, and Timmy Martinez was called in to relieve Tim Stoddard. We didn't know it then, but what was to follow was probably, almost certainly, a first in the entire 114-year history of Major League Baseball.
Well, the Toronto Blue Jays have been red hot in extra inning games. They are 9-0 this year. They are 9-0, and going back to last season, they have won 12 in a row in extra inning games. In fact, the last club to defeat them was the Baltimore Orioles in an extra inning contest. That was last August. And they've taken the lead here in the 10th inning. Tippy Martinez on for Tim Stoddard. Ballpark is now very quiet. Collins steps in against Tippy. And he's going to bat left-handed. Throw to first. They got the runner hung up between first and second. Murray chases him down and now puts on the tag. Well, that's the ideal way to do it.
Who said Len Sakata couldn't throw out a base stealer?
Right on. That goes 1-3, and if you can avoid making the throw in that situation, that's what you want to do. And they had Bonnell all the way, and Murray chased him down.
You don't think Bonnell was too anxious to try and test Sakata's arm, do you?
Well, I'm wondering about Collins getting up to the plate, batting left-handed. Now he switches around to the right side.
Batting left-handed, Sakata really can't get a look at that runner breaking from first base.
Here's the 1-0, and it comes in high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now, this is a guy you don't want to see in the bases if you're Len Sakata.
This guy can fly. Tippy with a fastball, and it's fouled off to the right side. Lowenstein has played 70 games in the big leagues at second base, but not since 1975. Sakata has never caught before. Renicky has never played third. 2-1 pitch is all the way to Collins. Comes in high. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Renicky has worked out at third base quite a bit during the season, taking a lot of ground balls over there. Been some talk that maybe next year at some future time he might be a third baseman.
Here's the 3-1, and it's outside, a fastball. So a runner at first. Collins with the free ticket. There is 1 out, and here comes Upshaw. Upshaw's 1 for 4. Single and stole a base his last at bat. Collins at first base with 1 out, and the throw to first, just an easy toss by Tippy to Eddie Murray, and Collins is back. Collins has 15 stolen bases. He's been caught stealing only 3 times. Another throw to first, and Tippy with not a lot on that throw. He possibly could be trying to set Collins up. Just tough to pick off this guy. 1 out, a runner at first. Another throw to first. They got him. They got him. Again, the play goes 1-3, and momentarily it looked like they were going to get Collins hung up. The throw came over from Tippy, and Collins came right into the tag.
These guys they're all drooling to get a jump against Martinez to steal.
Pitch is fouled off.
Sakata's got a smug smile on his face saying, I got both of those guys.
He sure does. What a job Segata's done. Well, that time Collins getting the lead. Here's 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and it's a call strike. 2 strikes. Looked like they were going to have Collins like he'd go the other way towards second because he knew he was going to get hung up, but he got back to first, was way late. The tag was in plenty of time. I was getting ready to say they got him hung up, but they just plain got him. 2-strike delivery, a high chopper over the mound. Lowenstein back, makes the pickup. He'll have no throw. Well, Lowenstein showing some good range there, and the fans love it. Upshaw reaches with a base hit.
When Lowenstein played some third base at Texas in '78, when Billy Hunter was the manager there, Ryder once went up to Lowenstein, figuring, well, he's an outfielder, plays all around the outfield. He said, John, you're a third base right now, but what's your best position, do you think? And Lowenstein said, shortstop. And he said it with a straight face and said, I played shortstop college and high school. I like the infield.
Well, now they're going to try again. The throw to first, and Upshaw's back. Well, Lowenstein had to go to his right that time and make a leaping stab at that one, but he had no play. Another throw to first. Well, Sakata's got a pretty good arm, and the Orioles have worked Leonard out behind the plate throughout the season. Another throw to first, and they got him! Holy cow! Oh, my goodness! Oh! They pick off 3! I can't believe it! They did it again! But the Blue Jays come up with a run. Martinez to Murray once. Martinez to Murray twice. Martinez to Murray 3 times. At the end of 9.5, it's Toronto 4 and Baltimore 3.
As remarkable as it was, the Orioles found themselves trailing by a run. But there was more magic to follow.
Ripken will lead it off. Listen to the crowd. Ripken celebrating his 23rd birthday. And he is 0 for the night. California and Milwaukee scoreless at the end of 6. Here's the pitch to Rip. And it's high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Roy Jackson and Moffitt warming in the Toronto bullpen. The Orioles down to this game 4-3. Eddie Murray is on deck. McLaughlin's pitch to Ripken. High fly ball to left field, and that's out of here. Home run! Tie ball game! They're on their feet at Memorial Stadium. 33rd Street has again turned into Electric Avenue. This place is going bananas. Ripken has tied it up. That's number 18 for Ripken. A screaming shot. And the Orioles take the lead, the Orioles tie it up at 4-4. And here comes Bobby Cox slowly out to the mound. He hasn't yet made the call. Happy birthday, Cal Ripken.
McLaughlin has been hurt with the long ball. Cox is going to stay with him. That is the 10th home run he's given up in 59 innings. About 1 every 6 innings, which is a very high figure for a late inning reliever.
Well, now maybe Eddie Murray can give Cal Ripken a birthday present.
Rick Dempsey is screaming at the umpires from the bullpen.
Pitch to Eddie, and it comes in high. He's able to check his swing at time. He's right up on the fence.
I'll tell you what, Collins was out there at the bullpen. I don't know what he was doing out there, and the umpires called timeout. Not the Blue Jays. The umpires called timeout.
Pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes.
I didn't see any Blue Jays call timeout, but Dempsey's screaming because, hey, if their man's out of position, why are you telling him to get back into position? Why don't you let them worry about that?
The 2-0 is on the way to Murray. It comes in high. 3 balls and no strikes. Nobody out. The Orioles battle back. to tie it in the ninth.
I don't know if Collins was having it out with Dempsey or somebody out there or what was going on.
Here's the 3-0 way upstairs, ball 4.
Well, Bobby Cox must have gone out there and said to McLaughlin, I don't care what you do, but this man is not going to beat you with a home run.
Well, we have heard a number of managers say that. Sparky Anderson said it. Bobby Cox may well have said it concerning Eddie Murray. Ripken homers to tie it for the Orioles in the 10th after they battle back in the 9th. Murray is the ball game at first base. Lowenstein is 0 for the night. Dempsey might get the whole place going with a cheer pretty soon. He's got the towel up now. He may lead this stadium in a cheer. He's done it before. He's trying to get them on their feet. Here's the pitch to Lowenstein. It's high. 1 ball and no strikes. And they're on their feet in section 34. Dempsey may well lead an Oriole cheer. He's trying to get everybody in the ballpark up. Lowenstein, the batter. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch to John. Out, it's fouled off out of play to the left side. Well, now Dempsey just takes both hands and throws them down because he can't get enough people. He's got most of the upper deck. There he goes again with a towel in the bullpen. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Lowenstein. Comes in high. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's the cheer. Eddie Murray's at first base. Lowenstein is up. Here's the pitch to John. A ground ball to the right side. Upshaw will take it. He'll run to the bag at first and step on it.
John Shelby was next, and he was walked intentionally. Randy Moffett then was summoned from the Blue Jay bullpen to face Gary Renicky. He got Renicky, but the next hitter was Oriole catcher Len Sakata.
Here's the 1-1. Fly ball down the left field line, and it is gone! Home run! Len Sakata! And the Orioles win this game on a Len Sakata home run to left. Memorial Stadium is going crazy. Len Sakata with a home run to win it. The Birds on top 7-4. Sakata with a sudden death victory. Len Sakata has done it again. Memorial Stadium is in a frenzy. They're calling Lenny, Lenny. They're not going to leave till he comes back out. And Sakata comes out for the curtain call.
As amazing a game as it was, the next night there was still more extra inning excitement that was very nearly the same. Neither club, neither the Blue Jays nor the Orioles could score until the 10th inning, when Barry Bunnell hit a 2-out solo home run. Toronto won, Baltimore nothing. Last of the 10th inning, 1 out. And again, Oriole magic.
Dan Ford is up. One out. Runners at first and second. Roy Lee Jackson walking slowly, counterclockwise around the mound. Now he'll step up on top to deal with Dan Ford. Ford is 0 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch. Runners at first and second. Here's a pitch to Ford. Swing and a miss. He was trying to end the game on that swing. Ford was going for the fences on that cut. He wasn't cheating. 1 strike to count to Ford. Ripken is on deck. Bumbry and Nolan, the runners aboard. Jackson from the stretch. Here's the 1-strike delivery. Fly ball towards the gap in right center field. Mosby chasing it down. Puts the glove up. He's not going to get there. Here comes Nolan. It's rolling to the wall. Nolan is headed home. Here comes win this game 2-1. Unbelievable! Unbelievable! They've done it again. Dan Ford with a line shot into the gap in right center field. So the Orioles win the series with two dramatic come-from-behind wins. They're on their feet, and here comes Dan Ford. And he comes out, doffs the cap, and gives them the charge sign.
It was apparent early that there would be something special about the Orioles-White Sox rivalry in 1983. Take the first game of the year between those two clubs. April the 12th, Comiskey Park, the White Sox home opener.
Bannister's 2-1 offering. There's a long drive to left field, way back, forget it, baby. Upper deck, a 3-run homer for Renicky. What a shot! 7-0 Baltimore, and listen to this crowd.
A laugher in the making? Well, not exactly.
2-1 pitch. There's a high drive, deep left center. Back is Shelby to the warning track, and there she goes. It's paid up. 7-7.
Then things got worse before they got better.
Line drive, left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. It'll go for extra bases. Fletcher is home for one. Pajoric is being held up at third, and it's an 8-7 ball game as Bain twice today has gone the other way.
However, in the 7th inning, the Orioles bounced back.
Here's the pitch to Al. A ground ball off the glove of Tidrow. Bumbry's going to leg it out, and here comes the tying run home. And credit Bumbry with a base hit. Here's the pitch. Dempsey, fly ball right field. Bain is going back, still going back. It's over his head. Here comes Dowler home. Here comes Bumbry, and Dempsey will head to second base. And Dempsey gets to the bag at second and gives himself a big clap and then throws both fists up.
Sammy Stewart then cooled off the Sox in the last 3 innings, and the Birds went on to win it 10-8. One of the wildest games of the season took place on May 14th at Arlington, Texas. The Orioles and Rangers combining for 41 hits, the most ever in an Orioles game. And the Orioles eventually winning 14-11, but it wasn't easy. The Rangers had 22 of those hits, and they blew an early 5-0 lead. The Orioles later went ahead 10-5, only to blow that advantage. The score stood 10-10 until Len Sakata, the late inning specialist, came to bat in the top of the 10th inning.
There's a drive. Left center field. Sample way back. He's not going to get there. It's going to the wall on one bounce. Murray scores. Renicky scores. Wire to third. Sakata to second. Baltimore leads it 12-10.
Rick Dempsey was next, and he added some insurance.
Swing. Chopper left field. Base hit. Coming in to score is Dwyer. Here comes Sakata right behind, and he scores. Touchdown, Orioles, 14-10.
On Tuesday, May 17th, the Chicago White Sox came to Memorial Stadium for a doubleheader. There was some good news and some bad for the Orioles. The bad news was very bad. Swing and a hopper back toward Flanagan, and it looks like it hit off his knee. He's hurting. The ball deflects to Ripken, who throws to first too late. Bernazard is safe, and Flanagan is hurt. Now, as he kind of reached out to his right for that, his left knee just kind of buckled and hit the ground. And I don't know if it did just give way on him or if he did twist it in going after the ball. Cal Ripken, the third base coach, is coming out now. Flanagan trying to walk around and see if he can get rid of this thing. But he's having a hard time doing it, and I think he's going to have to leave the game. And he will walk off the field, but with the help of Cal Ripken and trainer Ralph Salvon. The doctor's report later indicated that Flanagan had torn ligaments in his left knee, a very serious injury. He was off to his best start ever at 6-0. Flanagan would be missed both on the field and in the clubhouse for some 12 weeks. The good news that night, though, came in Game 2. Mike Boddicker, called up to replace the ailing Jim Palmer, made his first start of the year and a very strong impression. He pitched the first of his league-leading 5 shutouts, winning 5-0 while limiting Chicago to only 5 hits. The competitiveness of the rookie right-hander was very apparent in the 9th inning. Boddicker 1 out away from a major league shutout. The pitch, fastball, strike 1 on the outside corner. And the fans at Memorial Stadium hollering, realizing the significance of it. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. They're on their feet now. Memorial Stadium on its collective feet, cheering Boddicker. The outfield deep and toward left. Here's the two-strike pitch. Change up, he struck him out, and Boddicker has pitched a shutout in his first start of 1983. The next night in Baltimore, the White Sox Richard Dotson went the route and pitched a one-hitter, but he lost 1-0. He made only one mistake all night in the 8th inning. Here's the pitch to Dan Ford. Fastball hit deep to right field, along the line, has a chance, and baby, tell it goodbye! Home run for Ford, the first hit and the first run. The very next night in Toronto, Dan Ford drove in the game-winning run again.
There's a swing and a long high drive to deep left. Bunnell back to the wall, and there it goes. A home run for Dan Ford. And in the 8th inning, he does it again. Lightning has struck twice.
But the Orioles lost the next 3 games at Toronto, and ultimately were to lose 7 in a row. Finally, Friday, May the 27th in Kansas City, the slump ended. Storm Davis was the stopper, with relief help from Tippy Martinez and the power of Eddie Murray, who homered after having gone nearly 5 weeks without a home run.
Here's the pitch to Eddie. A towering fly ball to left field, and you can kiss that one goodbye. Oh, does that look good? So long, baseball.
Murray's home run was the first of 4 he would hit in the next 5 games. The Orioles made it 2 in a row at Kansas City the next night on Scott McGregor's 2-hitter. Credit Murray and John Shelby with 2 huge assists in the 1-0 victory.
Armstrong's into his wide, and here's the pitch to Murray. High fly ball to right field if it stays fair, and that one is gone for an Eddie Murray home run. And the Orioles have taken the lead 1-0 as Eddie Murray goes deep for the second time in his merry night.
Then in the 8th inning with UL Washington, the potential tying run on third base and only 1 out, Willie Wilson lofted a fly ball to center field.
Here's the pitch. There's a line drive to center field. Shelby coming on, makes the catch. Washington tags. Here comes the throw. Gonna be close. Dempsey tags him out. He's out at home. Double play. The side is retired.
The most talked about pitcher during the first half of the American League season was Toronto's hard-throwing right-hander Dave Stieb. He was 8-3 at game time on June the 4th. Included in there was a shutout victory against the Orioles just about a week before. But a massive Baltimore power barrage sent Steve to the showers in the 3rd inning. The pitch is a long drive, tell it goodbye! Oh, what a shot! Look out, it's heading for Ocean City! That one almost left the ballpark! Home run number 7 for Eddie Murray. And I don't know as how he's ever hit one any longer than that. And listen to Memorial Stadium. They show movies on a flight like that. The Orioles went on to win that game 6-4. Then on June the 7th, the Milwaukee Brewers, the defending American League champions, came to town for their first meeting with the Orioles since that climactic final series of 1982. In Game 1 of the 3-game set, the Orioles continued their long ball assault en route to a 6-4 victory. There goes Ripken. The pitch is hit deep in the air to left center field. Back is Manning, way back, and at the wall he jumps, can't get it. Gone, home run. Home run, Eddie Murray, 2-1 Baltimore. A line drive, and it didn't clear the fence by much as Manning leaped up for it, but it was beyond his glove. Now Renicky, there's a long drive, deep to left field. Ogilvy turns, he looks, tell it goodbye! Back-to-back home runs. Renicky has cleared the wall and straightaway left. 3-1 Orioles. Pitch on the way. There's a drive down the left field line, hooking into the corner. Ogilvy turns, looks up, and it's gone. Home run. Into the first row of the stands, down the left field line, and Benny Ayala circles the bases with his 2nd home run of the year. 5-2 Baltimore.
Here's a 3-2 to Dower. Fly ball, well hit to left field. Ogilvy is back, and so long, baseball. Home run, Rich Dower. And it's 6-4 Baltimore as Dower goes deep.
In the next game, rookie right-hander Alan Ramirez, just up from Rochester, made his mark immediately. He held the hard-hitting Brewers to just 2 runs in 7 innings. But the Birds trailed Don Sutton and the Brewers 2-0 until the bottom of the seventh.
Here's the 3-2. The runner goes fly ball. Well hit to center field. Manning is chasing it down, and it's gone. A Ken Singleton home run to left center field, and it's a 2-2 ball game.
Then in the last of the eighth, Sutton had to leave the game with back spasms, and the Birds pounced on his successor, Tom Tellman.
Brewers are back ahead, 3-2. 2 outs, a runner at second, last of the eighth. Tellman set. The pitch on the way. Curveball. Looper into center field. It falls. Base hit. Shelby flies around third and scores the tying run. There's a swing and a fly ball to deep left center field. Manning back to the warning track. To the wall. She's gone! Home run, Ripken, and Baltimore leads it.
When the smoke had cleared, the Orioles were on top 7-3, making a winner of Tim Stoddart. But the key to that victory was the excellent debut of Ramirez. From a Baltimore standpoint, the game at County Stadium in Milwaukee on June 15th started out as a disaster, but it wound up as a classic. After 6 innings, the Brewers held a commanding 7-0 lead. Then all hell broke loose.
Here's the pitch to Ripken. Fly ball, well hit to left field. Brohard breaking back on it, still going back, and kiss it goodbye. Home run, Cal Ripken, number 11. Dempsey has scored. Here comes T-Bone, and Ripken rounds the bag at third, gets the glad hand from his father, and the Orioles are climbing back into this one. We have a 7-5 ball game.
And there was more.
Here's Shelby. Base hit, ties a ground ball. Right field. Base hit. It's tied up. Around second is Dower, digging for third. The throw comes through, but not near in time. It is all tied up at 7. The Orioles have come all the way back.
In the 10th inning, the Orioles broke the game apart to climax one of their biggest come-from-behind victories ever, winning 11-7.
Here's the pitch to Shelby. Line to right field, a base hit. Here comes Nolan home, and the Orioles take the lead 8-7 as T-Bone comes through in the clutch again.
On June 21st, the Yankees came to Baltimore and dropped their 10th consecutive game at Memorial Stadium. Gary Renicky was the man of the evening.
Here's the pitch. A high fly ball to left field, and kiss that one goodbye. Two to nothing, Baltimore.
Then he did it again in the 8th inning. Pitch to Renicky. There's a swing and a long drive to deep left center field. Mumphrey to the warning track, to the wall, jumps up, and did he catch it? Let's get a sign. It is a home run! Home run, Renicky. 4-2 Baltimore. The Orioles went on to win it 5-2. On Sunday afternoon, June 26th, 21-year-old right-hander Storm Davis made a bid to no-hit the Detroit Tigers in Baltimore. He had pitched 8 hitless innings and entered the ninth with a 3-0 lead with some help from Al Bumbry. There's a drive into right center field, deep. Back is Bumbry. Back to the warning track, back to the wall, jumps up. He makes the catch! He falls over and holds on to it. Oh, what a play by Bumbry! Davis lost the no-hit bid in the 9th inning, but the Orioles, with help from Tippy Martinez, held on to win an important game. Just before the All-Star break, July the 1st, in Detroit, the Orioles added Todd Cruz, a shortstop who had been acquired from Seattle only the day before. He made a very auspicious debut as the Orioles' new third baseman.
Line drive to left field, and it is a fair ball into the corner. Here comes Murray home. Here comes Lowenstein. Dwyer is being waved home. And here there will be no play at the plate, and Todd Cruz has delivered with a double in the corner to left field, and he has cleared the bases. Big hit for Todd Cruz and the Orioles, and they have taken the lead by a score of 5-3.
Cruz came up again in the 5th inning.
Cruz swings, it's gone if it's fair. Deep down the left field line, and baby, tell it goodbye. A 3-run homer for Todd Cruz, and how do you like life in Baltimore?
Thanks to Cruz, the Orioles outlasted the Tigers 9-5. A couple of days later, it was the All-Star break. The Orioles seemed to be in good shape, just one game back of the Blue Jays, as they sent Eddie Murray, Cal Ripken, and Tippy Martinez to the All-Star confab. However, right after the break, the roof caved in. Reliever Martinez was rushed to the hospital for an emergency appendectomy. When he went on the disabled list the following day, he joined teammates Mike Flanagan, Jim Palmer, Dan Ford and Joe Nolan. A 20% casualty rate for the Orioles. But the O's of '83 seemed to thrive on adversity, and right after that, they proceeded to win 17 of their next 21. We'll have even more great moments from the Orioles' World Championship season of 1983 on Side 2. On July 13th, the Orioles completed a 3-game sweep of the Oakland A's in Memorial Stadium. The decisive blow was struck in the 4th inning.
Here's the pitch to Rip. Fly ball. Well hit to left center field. It could be. It might be. Henderson's back. He leaps, and it's gone. Home run. Grand slam for Rip. Ayala's home. Young is home. Cruz is home. And comes Ripken.
Ironically, that was the first grand slam of the year for the O's, but only one of 8 that they would hit in the second half of the season to share the Major League lead for the 3rd straight year. The Angels came in next, and McGregor threw an 86-pitch masterpiece to beat them 5-1. For Scotty, his 14th win in the last 16 decisions against California. It was a close game until Jim Dwyer took charge in the 8th inning. There's a long drive, deep right field. It has a chance, and tell it goodbye! A 3-run homer for Dwyer. The Orioles have opened it up. It is 5-0 Baltimore. The Orioles then left on their second West Coast trip of the season, the first stop coming in Seattle. On July 20th, Dan Ford, just back from a month-long stay on the disabled list, made a triumphal return.
Stanton's 2-0. It's gone. Tell it goodbye. A booming shot to straightaway left field, and there she goes. His 3rd home run of the day, 4-2 Baltimore. Around the Kingdom, the fans, appreciating a special performance, stand and applaud Dan Ford. It's not something you see very often, 3 home runs in a game.
Later on that same West Coast swing, Dennis Martinez, for whom it was the most trying year of his career, had just been banished to the bullpen. Well, he came on in relief in the 4th inning of a game in Anaheim. The game tied at 3-3 and pitched 6 tough innings to earn a 5-4 victory.
He winds, he throws. Strike 3 call to the outside corner, and Baltimore has won it. A fastball to the outside gets Freddie Lynn looking. And Dennis Martinez, with 6 innings of scintillating relief tonight, has quite probably pitched his way back into the starting rotation. And this was the Martinez we've been waiting all season to get a look at.
On Sunday, July 31st, the Orioles defeated the Texas Rangers, but many baseball fans had their eyes and their hearts somewhere else. Particularly a place a couple of 100 miles north in Cooperstown, New York. For it was on that day the most important and most beloved Oriole in the history of the franchise was taking his rightful place in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Brooks Robinson, number 5. And the following Friday, August the 5th, was proclaimed Brooks Robinson Hall of Fame night in Baltimore, and more than 39,000 fans turned out on a rainy evening to welcome him back. On Friday, September the 2nd, Mike Flanagan earned the distinction of winning the only 1-0 game ever played in the Minnesota Metrodome. Ken Singleton drove in the only run.
There's a high fly ball to deep right field. Back is Kuntz. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall, and it's gone. Home run. Ken Singleton with a high fly ball homer. And that one into the home run porch of the Metrodome.
The next afternoon in Minnesota, the Orioles became the first team ever to hit 6 home runs in a game against the Twins. Cal Ripken Jr. hit 2 of them.
There's a drive down the left field line. Back is Hatcher. He turns, he looks up, and it's gone. Home run. Cal Ripken with a home run to left field. His 22nd of the year, and that one was a shot. And it's lined up to left field. It could be, and it is gone. A line shot into the seats and left. Rip's not going to get the cycle, but he gets another home run. Another bullet to left. And the Orioles lead it by a score of 12-0.
On September the 9th, the Orioles jumped on a train headed for New York. They had a 5-game lead now, and realistically, all they needed to do with the Yankees in a 4-game series was split. Well, they did better than that. They won 3 out of 4 at Yankee Stadium. On September the 10th, in the first game of a doubleheader, Shane Riley pitching for New York, a 2-2 tie until the ninth, but Riley got himself into some trouble, and on came the goose. But it wasn't to be Gossige's night. He walked Dempsey. Then Joe Nolan was next as a pinch hitter.
Swing, line drive, base hit, center field. Here comes Sakata rounding third. Here comes Moreno with a throw, and it is offline. He scores, and the Orioles lead it. 3-2 Baltimore.
1 out later, Ripken doubled home a run. Murray was walked intentionally, and then John Lowenstein came up as a pinch hitter.
Gossage from the windup delivers. There's a long high drive to deep right center field. Moreno back, way back. It's a grand slam homer. They'll all score. 8-2 Baltimore. Lowenstein is greeted at the plate. He has hit a grand slammer to center field. And the Orioles have busted it wide open. A 6-run ninth inning. All 6 of the runs scoring after Gossage had entered the game.
The Orioles went on to sweep that doubleheader and broke the back of the New York Yankees. The next day, the Orioles jumped on Yankees left-hander Dave Righetti for 5 runs in the second inning and went on to win the game 5-3. A victory made possible by the strong right arm of rookie center fielder John T-Bone Shelby.
Pitch, line drive, base hit, center field. Randolph to third, heading home. Shelby up with the ball. Here's his throw home, and it's there in time. He's out! Griffey goes into second base. Shelby fired a strike to home plate, right to Dempsey. He put it on the third base side of the home plate area, and Dempsey got Randolph making the tag about 6 feet away from home plate. Flanagan nods in approval to the sign from Dempsey. Down the hill with his pitch. A line drive, center field, base hit. Griffey is around third. Here comes the throw from Shelby to Dempsey. The tag, and he is out at home plate, and T-Bone has done it again. They gambled again on Shelby, and it backfires again. The play goes 8-2. Griffey was able to see Dempsey get the throw, his only chance. Not a slide, but to come barreling in there, try to knock Dempsey over and knock the ball out of his glove. He was unable to do so as Dempsey held on, and Shelby does it again.
Tippy, appearing in his 5th straight game, saved it for Mike Flanagan. Then on Sunday, September the 18th, the Orioles were trailing Milwaukee 7-0, but staged a remarkable comeback in the 7th and 8th innings. The big blow struck by Eddie Murray. Here's Ladd on top. The pitch. There's a long drive to right field. Way back! Way back! It's a grand slam homer! The Orioles lead it 9-7. $36,000 people are jumping up and down and saying, we believe, we believe. The Orioles have scored 6 runs in the 8th inning, and they lead it 9-7. A grand slam homer for Eddie Murray, and they want a curtain call. They're still standing, and here he comes. The Brewers battled back to tie that game in the 9th inning before Baltimorean John Stefero lived out a dream. Pitch on the way. Swing, ground ball, base hit right field. Here comes Charlie Moore charging in. He bobbles the ball. Gulliver will score. The Orioles have won it. And John Stefero has won it for the Orioles. Hometown kid makes good, and the Orioles come out and they're high-fiving it. A sharply hit grounder through the hole to the right side. Final score, Baltimore 10, Milwaukee 9. And Stefero is the man who does it. It was the second time this year that the Orioles had come from 7 runs down to defeat the Brewers. There was more of the same the next night. The game tied in the 11th inning. It was Stefero once again to defy the odds. Tillman ready. Looks at third, delivers. Change up, line drive, base hit. He has done it again. The Orioles have won it. They have taken 4 from the Brewers. Can you believe it? Listen to Memorial Stadium. They all head into the dugout. A sea of white jerseys all surrounding John Stefero. The fans wanted to take a bow. He took one yesterday. Welcome home, John Stefero. He's holding his own personal reunion, and he takes a bow. And so the Brewers, the defending champions of the American League, who swept the Orioles or won that fourth game and avoided a sweep, this year are swept and are now officially eliminated from pennant contention in the American League East. And the Orioles, with another miraculous comeback with 2 outs in the 11th inning. And the rookie, John Stefero, provides the unlikely capper for the second straight day. And some of us can live out our wildest fantasies.
The Orioles' magic number was down to 7, and the defending champion Brewers had been eliminated in Baltimore. On September the 21st in Detroit, the Orioles and second-place Tigers played a doubleheader, and it was on that night that the Eastern Division title was all but settled. In Game 1, Boddicker pitched his 5th shutout of the year. He struck out 12 and finished the game with a flourish.
2-2 pitch. Curveball, he struck him out swinging. Number 10 for Boddicker. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a sidearm curve. The 11th strikeout for Boddicker. Got him swinging. A shutout for Boddicker. And Boddicker does it with 12 strikeouts, a career high. And does he finish with a flourish? Yes, he did. Boddicker strikes out the last 4 men in a row.
In Game 2, the Orioles trailed 3-1 into the 9th inning. They scored a run to narrow the gap, then loaded the bases, and here was John Lowenstein at the plate.
There's a long drive to right field, and baby, he's gone! A grand slam homer! Can you believe it? A granny for Lowenstein, and they have done it again. Somebody better get the Guinness Book of World Records, because the Orioles have done it again. A 5-run 9th inning. And John Lowenstein with his 2nd grand slam home run of the year. There's a long drive deep to right, high in the air, and tell it goodbye. Upper deck, Joe Nolan. 7-3 Baltimore. Nolan with his 2nd hit of the game and his 4th home run of the year. And that one down the line and into the upper deck. The Orioles have hit 3 home runs in this game, all of them coming in the last 2 innings.
Now the magic number was down to 4. It was only a matter of time. That time came on Sunday, September the 25th in Milwaukee.
The pitch on the way. Gantner hits a fly ball, shallow left field. Here comes Renicky. He's there. He makes the catch, and the Orioles have defeated the Brewers. And for 1983, the Baltimore Orioles are the champions of the American League's Eastern Division. The entire dugout streaming out to congratulate Tippy Martinez, and the Baltimore Orioles, with their 96th victory of the season, will now play the final week of the season for fun and to get themselves prepared for the Chicago White Sox.
Tuesday, October the 5th in Baltimore, the beginning of the American League Championship Series. And what a series it promised to be. It featured the 2 winningest teams in Major League Baseball. The White Sox had won 99, the Orioles had won 98. And they were also the hottest teams in baseball, both making spectacular stretch runs. For the Orioles, this was a Major League record 7th League Championship Series. The White Sox' Lamar Hoyt, however, seemed to be singularly unimpressed by that. The Cy Young winner-to-be in the league controlled the game, holding the Orioles to only 5 hits, and the White Sox went on to win it 2-1. The Orioles had only 2 base runners on in the same inning one time. That came in the 9th. Dan Ford doubled with 2 out, and then Cal Ripken drove him home.
There's a swing, line drive, base hit, left field. Here comes Landrum rounding 3rd. He'll score. It's 2-1.
However, Hoyt squelched that last-ditch rally, and the Orioles were down 1-0. Young right-hander Mike Boddicker from the small town of Norway, Iowa, had come to national prominence by winning 16 games for the Orioles in his rookie year. And now with the Orioles faced with playing their biggest, most important game of the year, Wednesday, October the 6th,
it was Boddicker who took the mound. And as he did so often during the year, he passed this test with flying colors.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bain strikes out. Sidearm swing and a miss. He struck him out. Pachorik goes down on strikes.
All told, Boddicker would strike out a career-high 14 batters, which also tied a League Championship Series record on his way to a 5-hit shutout. Again, Boddicker delivers. Curveball struck him out swinging. And the Orioles have won it. And Mike Boddicker has shut out the White Sox again. Offensively, Gary Renicky had what he would call his best day ever. In the second inning, he doubled and scored the first run of the game on a White Sox error. Then, later on in the sixth inning, he hit a 2-run homer to cap the scoring. Bannister's pitch. There's a long drive deep to left field. Back is Kittle to the warning track, to the wall, and tell it goodbye. A 2-run homer for Gary Renicky to straightaway left field. He brings Ripken home and himself as well. 4-0 Orioles. Renicky, whose first home run of 1983 was an upper deck 3-run homer at Comiskey Park against Floyd Bannister, has now done it again against Bannister, and this one counts just a little bit more. They're standing on their feet here at the stadium. Now it was on to Chicago for Game 3. Friday, October the 7th. Eddie Murray, who was 0-for-8 in the League Championship Series, ended the slump decisively in the very first inning against Richard Dotson.
2-0 delivery. Swing. There's a high fly ball to deep right center field. And baby, way back. It's long gone. Upper deck right center field. Tell it goodbye. 3-0 Orioles. And Eddie Murray's first hit is a monster shot at Comiskey Park. And the fans here who were chanting, "Let's go Sox," just moments ago, are in stunned, muted silence right now. Murray trotting around the bases and high-fiving at home plate. And the Orioles are off to a big lead early.
The Orioles would go on to win this game in a laugher 11-1. But there wasn't a whole lot of laughing going on in the middle innings. Tempers flared in the fourth inning when Mike Flanagan hit Ron Kittle in the left knee. Kittle was injured and he was angry. Both benches emptied, but nothing much happened. Then in the top of the fifth inning, Dotson appeared to retaliate by hitting Ripken in the hip with 2 down and nobody on. Then his first pitch to Murray was up and in. Eddie had had enough.
To Murray way inside, and now Murray points out, he says, "You want to start something with me? Let's go." And now maybe we'll get that warning, which we should have gotten a moment ago. Bremigan, who's a big burly fellow, immediately put the clamps on Murray. And here's LaRussa now. LaRussa wants to argue with Eddie Murray. Now Cal Ripken Sr. is in there telling LaRussa to get away. And Dave Phillips is trying to cool down LaRussa. And here come the bullpens now. We've got everybody milling around home plate. LaRussa's hot. I've never seen this before, where the manager comes out and starts shouting at the other team's superstar. I think LaRussa would like to see Eddie Murray get ejected from this game. This is what you would call in hockey the Philadelphia Flyers tactic. Send out Dave the Hammer Schultz and get the superstar into a fight and have him thrown out of the game. LaRussa means absolutely nothing. Eddie Murray means quite a lot. I mean, now all the players are right around home plate, and there still is a lot of hollering going on. Elrod Hendricks is out there and very hot.
Well, Jim Palmer is now talking on the mound to Dotson. Dotson leads the Chicago staff in hit batsmen. He's now hit 9. They've hit 34, and he's hit 9 of them.
Here's Kittle now, and Kittle's right in the middle of it, talking to people out there and hollering at some people. Renicky talking to Kittle, acting the role of peacemaker. Murray, meanwhile, standing at home plate with Benny Ayala alongside. Right after Ripken was hit by a pitch, Eddie Murray took one that was headed right for his belly button. And then he hollered something out at Dotson and pointed his finger at him. And I would have to say that the umpires were a little bit late in getting a hold on this one. After Ripken was hit, I would have thought that the umpires would have issued a warning both to Dotson and to both managers. But they did not for some reason. We all knew it was going to happen. He didn't hit Dwyer and he didn't hit Bunbury. He waited until Ripken came up. An eye for an eye. That was the motive that appeared obvious. to everybody except for Nicholas Bremigan, who thought nothing of it. And then when they almost hit Murray with a pitch, then we almost had a bit of a conflagration, which perhaps could have been avoided had Bremigan issued that warning to Dotson.
When play resumed, Dotson had lost his control. He walked Murray on 4 straight pitches, and that brought up John Lowenstein, who made him pay.
There's a drive deep to right center field. Racing back is Baines. It's over his head. It bounces off the wall. Ripken around third. He scores. Here comes Murray. He's being waved home. Cruz with a relay. Too late. Lowenstein heads for third. Fish throws down, and he's out at third. But 2 runs have scored, and the Orioles have a 6-1 lead.
The Orioles won that game 11-1 to take a 2-1 advantage. As lopsided as was Game 3, well, just as tight and tense was Game 4. Brent Burns for Chicago, Storm Davis for the Orioles, 2 young and talented pitchers. Nobody could score, but for Chicago, it seemed to be one threat after the other. The Orioles turned in 2 outstanding double plays, one coming in the 4th inning, started by Gary Renicky.
Here's the pitch to Baines. Line drive to left field. Renicky charging over. He dives and makes the catch. Oh, hitting a gold star on that one. What a play by Gary Renicky. That ball was hit to straightaway left field, and Renicky was cut over towards left center. He had to go charging to his right. At the last minute, he dove, and he backhanded that drive and was able to hold on to it as he hit the deck, and hopefully Renicky's all right. He was a little slow getting up. What a catch by Renicky. What a gem.
Then in the 7th inning, when it looked like the White Sox were finally ready to score, a base-running mistake cost them dearly.
Line drive, base hit into left field. And the runner will be held at third. The ball, now they got him hung up. Dybzinski is hung up. He made the big turn, and Cruz just chases him down. They put the throw on. They throw home. Dempsey puts the tag on Van Slaw. Dybzinski got back to second base in time. The ball hit out into left field. They held up the lead runner. Renicky came up firing to Todd Cruz.
A terrible mistake by Dybzinski. He had his eye on left field. And figured that the man was going to try and score. He saw Renicky's throw come in, and Renicky made the perfect throw. He hit the cutoff man, a low throw. No heroics from Renicky. Do the fundamental sound thing under pressure with the crowd roaring. He hit Cruz, and there was Dybzinski, 45 feet from either base. They got him in the rundown, and when he threw the ball to Dower, Dower immediately gunned home and got Van Slaw. Dempsey held on to it. About half the club involved in it. They all played it flawlessly.
It has been said that the Orioles are a team of unlikely heroes, and indeed, it was never more evident than in the 4th game of the playoffs. Tito Landrum, an Oriole for only 5 weeks, and a player not noted for his power, hit a home run into the upper deck in left field to give the Orioles the lead. Then, 2 more runs scored, and the Orioles had the American League pennant by a score of 3-0. Now it was on to the World Series, facing National League champion Philadelphia. For the Orioles, their 6th World Series in the last 18 years. There were several striking similarities between Game 1 of the series and Game 1 of the playoffs, which for the Orioles was unfortunate. It rained both times. The Orioles lost both games 2-1. Scott McGregor was the loser in both, and the winner in each case was a soon-to-be-named Cy Young Award winner. In this case, Philadelphia's John Denny. However, the Orioles did draw first blood in the very first inning.
There's a high fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is Lescano. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall, and you can call it goodbye. A home run for Dwyer. And the Orioles lead it 1-0.
Dwyer thus became only the 18th player to hit a home run in his first World Series plate appearance. After that, Denny closed the door. The Birds had only 4 more base runners, only one of whom got to second base. John Lowenstein, later on, would help McGregor keep things close with one of the great defensive plays of the entire series.
The pitch is a high fly ball to deep left field. Backing up is Lowenstein. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall. He jumps up, and he caught it. He caught it. He brought it back into the ballpark. Hit to deep straightaway left field. The fence is 7 feet high out there. Lowenstein got right back to it and reached back over the fence, and he brought it right back into the stadium.
For the second time in 6 days, Mike Boddicker was called on to pitch the Orioles out of a 1-0 hole, and again he came through beautifully. He became only the third rookie to ever pitch a World Series 3-hitter. The run the Phillies scored against him was unearned. Nonetheless, the Orioles and Boddicker found themselves trailing 1-0 into the 5th inning, and it was Brother Lowe who got them back even. Fastball is a high drive to deep center field. Backing up is Gross to the warning track, to the wall, and you can tell it goodbye. Home run for Lowenstein, and he has tied it up. But the Orioles were not finished. The next hitter was Dower, and he got a base hit. Cruz got a bunt base hit. Then Rick Dempsey doubled home the go-ahead run. Swing, line drive down the right field line. It is a fair ball. It's going to the fence. Rounding third is Dower. He scores. To third is Cruz. A wild throw by LaFay comes all the way into Schmidt near shortstop. Runners at second and third. A double for Dempsey. The Orioles lead 2-1. Next was Mike Boddicker, of whom not much was expected at the plate, but Boddicker delivered. The pitch, wide drive left field. Matthews going back. He makes the catch. Cruz tags at third. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. And Mike Boddicker has driven in run number 3 with a sacrifice fly. He gets a standing ovation. 3-1 Orioles. In the 7th inning, the Orioles put together a 2-out rally. Shelby started it with a base hit. Ford continued it with a base hit. And Ripken brought home run number 4.
Pitch to Ripken, ground ball right side into right field for a base hit. Shelby scores. Dan Ford is around second. He'll head to third. And the Orioles take the lead 4-1.
In the 9th, Boddicker retired the Phillies 1-2-3, including the National League's biggest slugger. The windup, the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Boddicker got him with a fastball. And he has done it again, just as he has done all season long. Boddicker continues to pitch the key game victories for the Orioles, and he has evened up this World Series with a masterpiece, a 3-hitter against the National League champions. And he strikes out 6 while walking nobody, and the only run he allowed was unearned. The World Series shifted to Philadelphia for Game 3. And it would feature 2 of the greatest pitchers of their era going head-to-head, at least briefly. Jim Palmer of the Orioles and Steve Carlton of the Phillies. Palmer came on a relief of starter Mike Flanagan, and on the day before he would celebrate his 38th birthday, he got the victory in relief against Carlton. Despite that, the real pitching heroes of this game were Sammy Stewart and Tippy Martinez. They combined to face the minimum 9 batters over the last 3 innings while protecting a 3-2 lead. A lead the Orioles got by coming from behind. Down 2-0 in the 6th. It was Dan Ford who finally broke the ice against Carlton.
Dan Ford, it's a long high drive, deep to left field. Matthews back to the warning track, to the wall, and you can tell it goodbye. A home run for Dan Ford. Right down the left field line and into the Oriole bullpen to make it 2-1.
Then with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 7th inning, Rick Dempsey got a double. Benny Ayala came up as a pinch hitter.
Sharply hit ball into left field. Base hit. Tie ball game. Benny Ayala, the hitman, delivers. A solid smash into left. A line drive. A screamer. And the Orioles have tied it up 2-2.
Shelby followed that with a base hit, and that brought up Dan Ford again.
Sharply hit ground ball off the leg of DeSoto, who's out into left field. Benny Ayala will score from second, and the Orioles take the lead 3-2.
Thus, the winning run was an unearned run.
A line drive out into right field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Here comes Dwyer. He'll score the first run. Ripken is headed home, and he'll score run number 2. And the Orioles take a 2-0 lead as Rich Dower, as he can do so well, goes the other way. Loops a base hit out into right field.
Dower's single gave the Orioles the lead in Game 4 on Saturday, October the 15th in Philadelphia. And for Dower, it was a welcome base hit because he had gone only 1 for 25 in postseason play. Today, he was to be the Orioles' offensive star. He got 3 hits and drove in 3 big runs. It was also a big day for manager Joe Altobelli. In the 6th inning, with his team trailing 3-2, he set up a World Series record-tying 4 consecutive pinch hitters. With 1 out, Lowenstein singled in the 6th and went to third on Dower's double. Cruz was due up, and Altobelli set up pinch hitter Joe Nolan instead. He was walked intentionally. Bases loaded. Singleton now, batting for Dempsey.
Whoa, he has walked in a run. Ball 4. Denny walks him on 4 pitches, and here comes Lowenstein to score the tying run. And now Altobelli will dip into his bench once more. Davis called back. Now the only left-hand swinger still available is Shelby.
With the game tied, it was John Shelby to bat for the pitcher.
There's a high fly ball deep to left field. Matthews back. He's back to the wall. He jumps up and he makes the catch. Tagging up is Dower. He scores the go-ahead run. And the Orioles lead it 4-3. And the wind perhaps kept that one from being a grand slam homer.
And despite Matthews' great catch, the Orioles had the lead that they would never give up. In the 7th inning, it was Dower again to produce some insurance. And it was very valuable insurance, as it proved to be the winning run.
Line drive, center field, base hit for Dower. Dwyer is being waved home. Here comes the throw. Dwyer with a headlong slide, and he is safe at the plate. And Dower does it again. Base hit to center field, and Jimmy Dwyer, as he headed to third, Cal Ripken, his arm going like a fan. Dwyer heading down the line, coming in to score in a headlong dive. And the Orioles have taken the lead 5-3, and what a day for Rich Dower.
In the 9th inning, the Phillies had made it a 1-run game. Joe Morgan at the plate, and Tippy got him to end it.
The 0-1 delivery, curveball, hit hard, right to Sakata at second base. He makes the catch, and the Orioles have won it. Martinez came in with a curveball in the hands, and Morgan hit it off the fists, a soft liner right to Sakata, and the Orioles have won for the 3rd straight game.
Sunday, October the 16th, the Orioles with a 3-1 lead. And they'd done that pretty much without the big bat of Eddie Murray, who was only 2 for 16 with no RBIs in the World Series. But this was to be an Eddie Murray day. Very early in the 2nd inning, he sent the Phillies a message.
Here's a long drive to deep right field, way back, and gone, home run. Wrap it up and send it home to Los Angeles for Eddie Murray. Here's one for Bob, all the brothers and sisters, and Murray has it off his back, his first home run of the 1983 World Series. And that was a typical Murray shot. What a blast. This deep straightaway right field. Rose just stood there and then turned around and watched it sail into the stands.
Then in the 3rd inning, World Series MVP Rick Dempsey went deep.
Dempsey with a high fly ball to left center field. The left fielder going back. He is at the wall and kissed that one goodbye. Home run, Rick Dempsey. And it is 2-0 Baltimore as Dempsey goes deep at the net.
In the 4th inning, it was Eddie Murray again.
Murray with a high fly ball to right center field, and you can kiss that one goodbye. Oh, what a shot by Murray. A towering Lothian club into the seats in right center field. A 2-run homer for Eddie Murray. And the Orioles have taken a 4-0 lead.
But all of that was just window dressing for Scott McGregor. He was never better. McGregor pitched a masterful 5-hit shutout, and the Orioles won it simply and easily 5-0.
The cheering you hear is from Oriole fans. Everybody else is in muted silence. The pitch. Line drive. Ripken catches it at shortstop, and the Orioles are the champions of the world. Dempsey is out to hug McGregor, and now the rest of his team mobs out there near the mound, and the Orioles have defeated the Phillies 4 straight times and have won this World Series.
Thanks to the Orioles, Christmas 1983 was indeed best in Baltimore.
Something magic happens on your radio. You make the magic happen. The magic of Orioles baseball. When the game is close and the O's are hot, there's a thundering roar from 34 to give it all they got. And you never know who's gonna hear the call. Every game there's a different star, on WFDR.
Orioles magic, hear it happen. Orioles magic, hear it happen. Orioles. Magic, 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 magic.
Something magic happens on your radio. Make the magic happen. The magic of Orioles baseball. When we score the runs, nothing could be more exciting. Nothing could be more fun. There's a love affair between you and the team. You're the reason we win when we win, and you know what the magic means.
Orioles magic, hear it happen. 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 Orioles. Magic, 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 magic. Orioles magic, hear it happen. Magic, 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 magic.
Something magic happened